Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel. So we are just barely into 2024, and already there's a lot of movies that I'm looking forward to, like Deadpool 3, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. As of a couple of days ago, Abigail from Radio Silence looks pretty cool. But obviously there's got to be one movie out there that is my most anticipated of the year, and knowing me, it's an obvious one. Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. I'm not sure how exactly we say that title, because the X in all the other Godzilla movies usually stands for versus, and as we've seen in the trailer for this movie, clearly it's not a versus movie, it's a team-up. So I'm hoping we get some sort of clarification in the future on how exactly we're supposed to say the title of this film. But anyway, this is obviously my most anticipated movie of the year because I'm a massive Godzilla fan, and I've been enjoying the Monsterverse quite a bit. The first season of Monarch: Legacy of Monsters just ended, and I'll have a proper review for that season the closer we get to this movie. But I think that overall the Monsterverse is probably the second most successful cinematic universe after the MCU, and even then, with the MCU in its current state, that may be debatable. I also understand that the trailer for this movie came out in December, the same weekend that Godzilla Minus One came out, but I had to travel due to a family emergency, so I couldn't really talk about the trailer. But since we got news recently that the movie got moved up from mid-April to the end of March, I think now's the perfect time to talk about this film and tell you why I'm excited for it, but also why I'm slightly nervous for it. First of all, the exciting parts, it's another Godzilla movie, and I didn't think at all that we'd see another Godzilla and Kong movie this soon. I figured that it'd be a while before we even get to that. However, based on the first trailer for this movie, it really is marketing this film as if it's a actual Kong movie, and Godzilla just happens to be there because, well, we need these two monsters to team up again. Because the trailer's mostly focused on Kong as new ruler of Hollow Earth. We get to see a baby Kong, a red-furred Kong. After Godzilla vs. Kong came out, there were some rumors that Adam Wingard was going to be making a Son of Kong movie, so I kind of forgot that we'd be getting this element. And I'm curious to see how this will go, because clearly, based on the other Titan in this movie, this is not a biological relative to Kong. So this little baby Kong may be the adopted son of Kong, similar to how Minya or Manila was the adopted son of Godzilla. So I'm super curious to see how that will play out. They don't really show a lot of baby Kong in the trailer, so we'll see how much he plays into this film. And then in relation to the other Titan in this movie, the one that they've been marketing a lot besides, you know, the two big ones, Scar King, which I have some concerns about this character, or at least I had concerns at first, because upon looking at him at first glance, I don't see how this particular Titan warrants Godzilla and Kong teaming up. Considering that both Godzilla and Kong had a difficult time fighting Mechagodzilla, I don't see how an anorexic, balding orangutan can be such a threat to both Titans. I mean, Kong could easily snap this guy in half by himself, so I don't see why Scar King is that much of a threat, at least just based off the trailers. However, there is another element of this movie that wasn't shown in the trailers, but was spoiled in the marketing, and that's that there's another Titan called Shimo, and I don't really know much about this Titan. I've seen images of him, he looks really cool, and supposedly he's the other Titan villain along with Scar King. So if they're gonna do a giant tag team battle like in the old Showa days with Godzilla vs. Gigan and Godzilla vs. Megalon, then I think I'll be okay with that. Scar King on his own does not seem like a worthy enough threat for Godzilla and Kong to team up again. But if it's a true tag team battle with this other Titan, Shimo, then I'll be totally fine with it. I know a lot of people have been kind of critical about Godzilla's design in this movie, and the fact that at the end of the trailer, he and Kong are running side by side like they're running a marathon. And that latter part does weird me out a little bit. Because one thing that the Monsterverse films have done a really good job with is that even when we see Godzilla running, you still get the impression that these are giant lumbering beasts. So seeing this Godzilla run at full speed is a little bizarre. However, if I'm going to take a guess with this sequence, I'd imagine that they're in a place that is low on gravity, and thus Godzilla and Kong can run the way they do. And as for the design, I think it's kind of cool. I like how the spines are more reminiscent of the one from Godzilla 2000, which were purple. This is more of a bright pink. But I don't know, I think the look for Godzilla is pretty cool. I don't mind the pink look at all. As long as he's still threatening and still kicks ass, then that's really all I care about. And based on the stuff that I've heard with this movie, it seems like there's going to be a lot of sequences focused on the Titans. I think Adam Wingard said that there will be sequences as long as 8 minutes where there's nothing but Titans fighting each other and you get the story from their perspective, and the humans are just kind of brushed to the side. And speaking of the human characters, we have Rebecca Hall coming back from the first movie. We have Kaylee Hottle as well. Alexander Skarsgård's not back this time around, but instead we get Dan Stevens, who was in Adam Wingard's The Guest in 2014. And in terms of human characters from the last movie, Rebecca Hall and Kaylee Hottle were the only characters that I actually cared about. So I'm glad that these two are back. Who I'm not so thrilled about being back is Tyree Henry as that crazy conspiracy theorist podcaster. Which, yes, in hindsight, he was right on everything involving Apex and Mechagodzilla. But even then, if you were to rewatch Godzilla vs. Kong, there are certain details about this character where you go, why? Why would Monarch even consider hiring this guy if that really is the case in this movie? Because he bathes himself in bleach to prevent the government from spying on him. He believes that tap water is full of microchips. It's just all this bullshit conspiracy theory stuff that I hated in Godzilla vs. Kong. And to repeat what I said in that review, we don't need a conspiracy theorist as a hero in 2024. We absolutely do not need that type of character. So I have no idea how Tyree Henry is going to play out in this movie, but if I'm gonna just kind of put that aside, these movies have been more focused on the monsters and just seeing them destroy stuff and kick ass, fighting other monsters. And as long as it delivers on that, I'll be okay. Am I expecting this movie to be a masterpiece? No, absolutely not, especially coming off the wake of Godzilla Minus One. If you're going into this expecting this, then you're going to be wildly disappointed, and I don't think that's fair to Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. So I think I'll just be looking at this like I would a late Showa era Godzilla movie. You just go there for the monsters and have a good time. So I overall am really looking forward to this movie. I do have my concerns. It wasn't like with Godzilla vs. Kong where I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited for this. Nothing about it can stop me from being excited for this movie. No, in this one, I do have some doubts. I do have some concerns, but overall, it'll be difficult for this movie to not entertain me. So those are my overall thoughts on the trailer for Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. I know a lot of you have been asking me what I think of the trailer and what my anticipations are with this movie, and that's pretty much it. So I think at this point it's well established that when it comes to Godzilla, if we want just giant monster mashes with cheesy team-up moments, then we go to the Monsterverse. If we want something a lot more serious and threatening, then we'll go to Toho with their movies. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this movie. I'm not going to be doing another video for it when the next trailer comes out. I'll just wait until the movie comes out and give you my full review. But until then, I want to know if you're excited about Godzilla vs. Kong. Whatever your opinions are, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. If you want to follow me elsewhere on YouTube, you can go check out my vlog and travel channel, Alexander Robinson Travel Channel, and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.